Oh, hello. This is Joseph Hacken, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On the reparations for slavery talk, because Black Lives Matter. Why is there talk about money in dealing with repairing the hurt that slavery has caused? Why money? Why not just plain forgiveness for past sins? God has offered forgiveness for sins committed that man has committed towards his fellow man. But most importantly, how about the sins man has committed against God himself? The sins that have been committed against God are far greater and eternally greater transgression than man has against man. Instead of February being Black History Month, let it be called Freedom from Slavery and Oppression Month. Let to be a great jubilation throughout the country. Let to be an Emancipation Proclamation and a proclamation of the favorable year of the Lord for all the slaves that have been set free from slavery and oppression. Not just blacks, but Israel, from Egypt. Psalm 103, verse 8 through 12 says that He, God, is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in love. He will not always accuse, nor will He harbor His anger forever. He does not treat us as our sins deserve or repay us according to our iniquities. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is His love for those who fear Him. So far as the east is from the west, so far as He removed from our transgressions from us. As high as the heavens are above the earth, and as far as the east is from the west, goes on forever. From where has He removed our transgressions? From the memory of His mind. He has forgiven and has forgotten them as high as the heavens are above the earth, and as far as the east is from the west, so far as He has removed our transgressions from us. Let me read Psalm 103. Praise the Lord, my soul. All my inmost being, praise His holy name. Praise the Lord, my soul, and forget not all of His benefits. Who forgives all your sins and heals all your diseases. Who redeems your life from the pit and crowns you with love and compassion. Who satisfies your desires with good things, so that your youth is renewed like the eagles. The Lord works righteousness and justice for all the oppressed, and made known His ways to Moses, His deeds to the people of Israel. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in love. He will not always accuse, nor will He harbor His anger forever. He does not treat us as our sins deserve, or repay us according to our iniquities. For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is His love for those who fear Him. As far as the east is from the west, so far as He removed our transgressions from us. As the Father has compassion on His children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear Him. For He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. The life of mortals is like grass. They flourish like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it, and it is gone. And its place remembers it no more. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear Him, and His righteousness with the children's children, with those who keep His covenant and remember to obey His precepts. The Lord has established His throne in heaven, and His kingdom rules over all. He tells us in His Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6, verse 12, forgive us our debts, as we have also forgiven our debtors. We are in debt to God, but He has forgiven and forgotten them towards us. Remember, our debts are an eternally greater transgression against Him than we have committed against one another. Let us look at Philippians chapter 3, verse 12 through 16. Not that I have already obtained all this, or have already arrived at my goal, but I press on to take hold of that for which Christ Jesus took hold of me. Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead. I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. All of us then who are mature should take such a view of things. And if on some point you think differently, that too God will make clear to you. Only let us live up to what we have already attained. So should we have the same mindset in the heart as he? Shouldn't we forgive and forget, not holding on to the wrongdoings of another? Shouldn't we forget what is behind us and strain toward what is ahead of us? Even though there has been much accomplished in this fight against slavery and racism, it still is going to be a hard fight. It is still not going to be an easy one. But if there is a continued long-suffering and patient stance, much more can be accomplished. Many more will come around to this mindset of slavery and racism, being just plain wrong and a mindset to join others to fight against this particular sin in themselves and in others. But let us only live up to what we have attained already. For those who look to Jesus Christ for salvation, press on heavenward toward the goal to win the prize which God has called us to in Jesus Christ. Black Lives Matter. This white man says, Black Lives Matter. This is an appeal to the black community. My name is Joe Hackett. I am a white man. I live in the inner city, born and raised. I now live in a predominantly black neighborhood, and I do believe Black Lives Matter. I have stayed here at my residence believing that I will be able to change the situation in the neighborhood. I am concerned for the inner city. How do we both get involved together? The inner city black community is much maligned by the elite. The elite usually focuses on the negative side of the inner city, not the positive side. For sure, there are negatives in the inner city. I have written about them. White communities, as well as other ethnic communities, have them also. City streets and pavements that I live on are full of trash and bottles and cans. They are thrown there by those who pass by, even if there was a trash can beside them. One may still throw their trash onto the street, not into the can. Also, the streets department does not collect the trash properly nor recycles. They just whisk away the trash and recycle cans, sending some of the debris onto the street and pavement. Maybe they do not get paid. Another thing, the street department people do not put trash cans in street corners, so people drop their trash on the pavements, streets, and in the grass. The street department says they do not put trash cans out because someone will use them for their own trash that they made inside their home. An excuse. Very few may do that. You, no matter what, still need to do this. Think of that person if a police officer sees them do it. You walk along the street and see that the people who live on them do not care that trash has been left in front of their house. So they leave the trash there and not bother to help out and clean the mess up themselves. Somebody else did that. Why should I? While I began writing down this message, I had an opportunity to do some mentoring for a young black boy of 13 years old. He got to know me through an incident about 2 weeks later when he hurt his leg. We went over there to help give assistance by sitting him down on the top step that helped relax his leg. Then I went to knock on his door to get his mom and to inform that her son hurt his leg and needed help walking. He had to be lifted and brought to his house. He was helped to his house by his mom and my next door neighbor and good friend Armstrong. His mom was told by the doctor that he tore his Achilles tendon. Now he and I say hello as he again plays on the block. When he sees me, he says, "Hello, sir." Sometimes he just says hello. Does not need to call me sir, just Joe. The teaching and mentoring moment came when I was shoveling snow in front of my steps out front of my house. The lesson was about the difference between just being kind to someone in the street, as opposed to turning it into a business proposition like Jim. He asked me if he could help, and I said yes. Then afterward, he asked to be paid for his help. I did give him $3 though for his help, even though I did not need to. He did not ask to be paid before. I believe he learned the lesson of being kind and neighborly as opposed to being business-minded. Even though he could take advantage of that kind of opportunity to make a little money for himself, but be upfront about it to that person. This was a privilege for me. I asked him for a hug, and he was glad to give me. Another time, this man who did not live on my street began to vomit in front of my next door neighbor's house while he was hanging outside on the passenger side car door. I asked him if he was all right, and my neighbor saw me tending to him. He went and got him a bottle of water and paper towels. Thanked us both for our help. I had another opportunity to help and serve my family, this time on the 3rd of September. It was at night, around 10:15 p.m. It was the third time this past year. Again, it was a black man, and I didn't know why. This was about 3 years ago. The reason I tell you this is because of the erroneous feeling that nobody cares enough, especially for others, than themselves. People see too much of the black man, white man relationship through racism eyes. Everybody must be a racist. Not too many come to the aid of someone they see in trouble. They want to turn a blind eye to the situation, just go back to their own comfortable lives. I thank God that He had put me in this position to do good. And by the grace of God, I said yes to His name. And I made good with that situation. Like I said, this had been the third time this year, 2 years ago. I believe that God gave me this heart of compassion and gave these people to me. He said, "This is my servant. He is here to help you." We in the city of Philadelphia have a huge problem of trash that is littered throughout the streets, pavements, and grass in the neighborhoods. All we can do as a people is to help each other clean the streets and pavements. We also can bother the streets department to do a much better job of trash collecting. We also should tell them to put trash cans on the city corners. These are the city's responsibilities. We as citizens need to hold the city, state, local, and federal governments to account. Government is created by God Himself for the benefit of the people, and especially for their protection. Government is not for politicians' sake. There are those politicians who really think that it is for their benefit. These are three circumstances, among others, in my life. These three happen to be on my predominantly black neighbor, but I still love many people. And I am still here living in the same street, hoping to help change the circumstances that surround each and every one of us in our city. All of us should help make a change in our cities for the better for all of us. We as a people also can be vigilant against crimes with the wheels that were out in front of my house, that held my house. In front of my house is a lawn, then a pavement street in front of that. People who stole them had to get out of their car, cross the pavement, cross the lawn, go up to the trash cans that held my house. They had to take the two trash cans that held my house, go down my lawn, down the pavement to the street, and put them in the vehicle. This took time to do. Obviously, nobody actually saw them do it. Hard to imagine nobody not seeing it being done. It was done in broad daylight. Unless somebody saw them do it, but did not do anything or say anything about it. Oh, let me add. They came back to my house the next day in broad daylight and left trash bags in the top of my lawn that they found in the trash cans that they stole from. They were mad that they took and stole my really good trash cans with wheels, with trash in them. They came back with the trash. By, by doing this, they wanted to tell me that I should not have had trash in them when they stole it. Second one was somebody walked up to my car, had somebody open the passenger side door of the car, sat in my car on the front passenger side of the pavement that was towards houses, opened the compartment that was between the two front seats, leaving it open, and opened the compartment that was in the middle, in front of the driver and passenger seats. Leaving that open. Obviously, wanting to steal what was in there and get nothing. Again, this is what I'm trying to do. Same thing. Nobody saw anybody walk up to the car, open the car door, go into the car, sit for some time in the car, go throughout the compartments of the car, and get out of the car and close the car door and walk away from the car. Or somebody saw this being done to my car and did not want to say anything or do anything. The third one was when I was coming home from work. 3 black youths jumped me from behind, beat me up, bloodied my nose, and robbed me of my iPhone. The black lady walked me up the street, came up to me, saw me, and called the police. I told her 3 young people did this to me, but the lady told me she saw 4 young men running away from me. Apparently, one of their friends came and saw what they had done and ran away with them. There had been a police report signaling to the neighborhood that iPhones were being robbed by people. I did not get the word. I was coming home from work. The barber shop in the corner on my street embraced themselves for that crime. The barber shop tenants were black. They were aware of a white person walking around with a hoodie on his head. It was wintertime. They were looking out for him, not for the others that were black. These 3 black youths were walking behind me. They did not pay attention to me. I walked in front of that barber shop in its big window, along with the 3 black men behind me. I had that iPhone in my ear, not knowing that they were behind me. Since that barber shop was aware of and looking out for the situation, made aware to them by the police report, I think that they should have been suspicious of them walking close behind me. They were not. It would appear that they were too suspicious of that white man walking around with that hoodie on his head. Looks ironic, doesn't it? So, this is Joseph Hacking, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 11:19 a.m., 8:19 a.m. Pacific, August 14th, on the reparations for slavery talk, because Black Lives Matter. Bye for now. Speak to you later. Thank you.